I'm back. I have no idea what I'm doing with my hair, but that's what you guys are going to get today. Welcome back to my channel. Today is day 14, I think, so far of these VEDIJ videos that I'm making. If you can still hear it in my voice, I am still very congested and I still feel sick, but I feel better than I felt earlier in the weekend. So, you know, it's Monday. Let's get this started. So I honestly had no idea what I wanted to do today, so I just rounded up a couple of new products that I have gotten in the last couple of days, and I'm going to use those and see what I think about them. There are two things that I got that are new that I'm very excited about. Just go right ahead. The first thing that I have here is the new NARS foundation. And this is the Natural Radiant Longwear foundation. I'm very excited about this. My shade is in Punjab. I got my hands on two of the Colourpop concealers. I got two because I wasn't really sure what shade I was supposed to be, but I realized I got beige 25 and light 20. I realized that beige is very orange, which is fine if I can use that kind of as a corrector. But this one, light 20, is more my shade. And I also have a new palette from, well, it's not new. I don't think it came out that long ago, but it's new for me. From Colourpop. It is the Element of Surprise palette. I mean, when you go into the Colourpop website, you can literally be there for like 2 minutes and purchase half of the website because they come out with new things almost every day, so it's kind of difficult to keep up. But anyways, I'm just gonna get started because I don't want this video to be too long. What I'm going to do, I don't have any new primers, unfortunately, other than the one that came in the BoxyCharm box, but I find that I'm going to need a little bit more moisture because of the sickness, so my nose is just very dry. So I'm gonna stick with my FACED Hangover Rx primer because it's my tried and true, and I know that I am going to get the moisture that I need. Alright, I put a little bit more on my forehead because my forehead is feeling a little dry. I've been hearing a lot of good things about this foundation. I'm really excited. NARS is an amazing brand. I love NARS. I love their concealer, which I had to buy a new one because I lost my other sample concealer. I have it in custard, but this is not new, so I'm not going to use that. And I'm also going to use a new brush that I haven't used. I got this from Ulta. It's one of the Real Technique brushes. It's this one. And I also have a Real Technique sponge. I've used this before. Their sponges are excellent, but I've never used this brush before, and it's really soft. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to apply one side of my face with the brush and the other with the beauty blender and see if it makes a difference. Because I know there's people that do like to use brushes for foundation. I personally don't really use brushes to apply foundation anymore. I tend to always use a beauty blender. But this is very soft though. And this foundation looks so nice. So nice. Put it down my neck a little bit. I mean, one thing I will say about these kind of brushes is that they apply anything that you put on, whether it's a foundation or concealer or powder. They apply it very quickly. Like this thing is big, so it covers a lot of space very quickly. And also it applies a lot of the product, which is good. Use another half a pump for my forehead. I have a lot of redness because of being sick, so all right. So have the side with the foundation, the side without. As you can see, this foundation, I mean, the color match is just on point. NARS, I've never had an issue with NARS and color selection. They are one of the bigger brands that are the most inclusive, I find, when it comes to shade ranges, which is great. So there is a chance that you will find your shade if you're looking for it there. I see that the foundation is medium. It looks like it's medium coverage, but it looks like it's buildable. I normally don't tend to build on my foundation because that can cause for it to look very cakey on me because, again, dry skin. But I really like that brush though. It applied it very nicely, and I like that it didn't allow for the foundation to kind of settle where I have my driest spots. So great. So now I'm going to go ahead and use the sponge. I'm gonna dot that again around my face. Oop, that might have been a lot of product. Oh well. And we're gonna go ahead and buff that in. Obviously, because it's a sponge, it does absorb more product. As you can see, like the sponge, you see it absorbs the foundation in it. That's just what sponges do. Which for someone like me is convenient because it doesn't allow for you to kind of go too crazy with your foundation, and it allows for it to kind of blend nicer into the skin. Personally, I find that both sides look great. Obviously the side with the sponge looks a little bit more dewy than the side without it, because you know, you're using a wet sponge. So no, and that's another reason why I like using sponges, is because it gives you that kind of like more of a dewy effect. But I think it looks good on both sides, so not complaining. All right, so next we're going to move on to concealer. Now I've heard mixed reviews about this. I've heard people say that it is very matte and it can be kind of drying. I've heard other people say that it is a great concealer, full coverage, all that. So I'm kind of like not sure what to expect. This I will apply with the sponge. I'm not going to apply it with the brush because, I mean, first of all, the brush is too big to kind of go under my eyes. But also, I never, ever, ever apply under eye concealer with anything but a beauty blender because, I mean, it's just too much cake. So, has a little wand applicator. It's really cute. Alright. I also like to use the concealer to highlight, not only to conceal the dark eyes, which is why I'm doing this kind of like V formation under my eyes. Use it as primer. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend. I probably could have gone with maybe, I don't know, I could have probably gone with a shade lighter. But that's fine because I don't really like to over highlight either. Actually, I'm not sure if you guys can really tell. I feel like zooming in into my eyes. Obviously, I have lines under my eyes, as you guys can clearly see. So, there's not a concealer in this world that can hide that, unfortunately. What you want to do, though, is you want to avoid for any product to kind of crease in there, to kind of just settle, which is why you set your concealer with powder under your eyes. I'm going to use the Dermablend loose setting powder. I did mention before that this powder I got in a shade that is literally the color of my skin, so it's not gonna really do much for brightening, but to be completely honest with you, I'm not really like looking to do all that because I'm not going anywhere. So I'm applying a little bit of the Giorgio Armani compact powder just to, you know, I'm just dusting it very slow, very gently. I'm not applying much more powder, but I'm applying that to kind of marry the colors better, so that way everything is even. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do my brows. For my brows, I've actually been using the It Cosmetics Brow Power, which is one that I reviewed on the BoxyCharm. It came in the BoxyCharm box, and I was talking on that video how I was like, I'm not sure if I really like it because it's supposed to be a universal color. But I actually do like it. Like I've been using it a little bit, and I'm like, you know what? This is actually not that bad. The color is not really that much of a problem, especially if you're kind of going for a more natural look. So I kind of like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows and then put other stuff on my face, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm done with my face. I applied a little bit of bronzer, blush, highlighter, finished my brows and everything. So we're going to move on to eyeshadow. Now, so I'm using this one, the Element of Surprise from Colourpop, as I mentioned before. I kept it in the package, but I already opened it, so it's like... So these are the colors. I mean, this color selection is just so pretty. I mean, look, this one right here. This one in the corner. This one, which is called Rayon. It's kind of like a duochrome-y kind of color because I can see kind of like green in it. And this pink is just so pretty. I mean, Colourpop does some really nice eyeshadows, palettes, because I have the Yes Please palette and the I Think I Love You, or is it I Love You? I Think I Love You palette. And they both have beautiful colors that they're very wearable, and it's just great. It's just that they just come out with so many. There's just so many palettes. It could be very overwhelming, but you know, it's fine. So let me do some swatches. So I'm going to swatch this this pink, which is called Subdue. I mean, look at that pink. That is just so nice. And one thing I will say about Colourpop is that they are pigmented. They do have a lot of fallout though. So, you know, if that bothers you, if you don't like that, then, you know, keep that in mind. But honestly, I don't really care. This one is Opulent. This one right here, which is a little bit more sheer. And that's the one here next to this pink one. Whoop, this one right here. Whoop. So, you know, they're great. So I'm going to make a look using these colors. Hello. So as a transition, I'm going to use this color called Go With The Flow, which is this color right here. Oh, hello, this color right here. Boop, boop. And I'm going to put that all over my crease. And just blend that all over my crease. And I'm using the Sigma E40 tapered blending brush, which for some reason is shedding on me. It was shedding on me a little bit too much, which is weird. This literally never happened before, but okay. I'm going to take the Sigma Blending E25, which is this one. Focus. I'm going to take this Sigma blending brush, the E25, and I'm going to go, let's see, what color am I going to go with? I'm going to take the pink color, that one right there. which I just swatched, and I'm going to take that very lightly because this is very pigmented, and I'm going to sweep that right under my crease color. Well, not really under, but like you see how I swept that crease color up there, so I'm just gonna sweep this a little bit lower. And with colors that are, ooh, look at that, that is pigmented. With colors that are bright like that, you don't want to start off too strong. You definitely want to build just in case. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a little halo eye. So I'm going to apply these colors in the corner, in the outer corner right here, and in the inner corner right here, and leave that middle part open. And that is a halo color, a halo eye, halo color. So now that you have both colors, I'm going to take, I'm kind of torn between choosing that purple color that I swatched or that pinky color that I showed you guys, Rayon. I don't know if I want to use either, which one is that one? Opulent? Yes, Opulent, which is the purple one, or Rayon, which is this one right here. I mean, they both look so pretty. Honestly, with this kind of look, you can probably get away using whatever. Feels, that's cute. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put on Rayon because there's actually another product that I forgot that I have that I want to use. How could I forget? Well, I'm going to take a small packing brush like this one. I don't know if you can, there you go. Oh, no, there we go. So this is a Morphe M421, and I'm going to pack on that color. And I'm going to pack it on into the middle that I left. Ooh, look how pretty. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but it's like iridescent. It's very sheer though. Normally what you would see online a lot is that people will take concealer. Actually, let me see if I can just use my finger. Sometimes with shiny colors like that, using your finger, there you go, applies the color a lot better. Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. What people will do is that they'll take concealer and kind of carve that area out, so that way when you apply the color, it applies better and it holds better. But we ain't gonna do all that today because that seems like a lot of effort that I'm not trying to put in right now. I know there's a lot of people that say that they love applying makeup. Well, not love, but they like to apply makeup and like glam up and stuff when they're feeling sick because they feel like it makes them feel better. And I'm like, no. Like, the last thing I want to do is put stuff on my face when I'm sick. Okay, so then using the same brush that we had before with the pink, I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that product and I'm going to run that under my on my lower lash line.
It's a freedom I shouldn't have, with the people I shouldn't know. I might as well still love that. It's the only thing that I fucking do.
Alright, so I'm going to take a liner brush, an eyeliner brush, a flat definer brush. That's what it's called. It's one of these. And I'm going to take this dark color that is in the palette that is called Late Night. It's that deep kind of burgundy color. It's right up there. And I'm going to take that on the brush and I'm going to put that on my right at the edges of my lash line to kind of just give it a little bit more definition. So I'm pushing that right against my lash line. And then I'm going to take another brush, well, the same brush that I used to pack on the iridescent color. I'm just going to take that with a little bit more of the pink and blend those colors in a little bit more. Alright, so this palette doesn't have like a champagne-y color or something that I would normally use for the brow bone in the inner corner. So I'll have to pull out another palette for that. But before I forget, there was actually another product that I purchased from Colourpop as well that I want to use. I don't really know. I mean, it's not really going to go with the color that I just applied, that iridescent color, but I want to try it nonetheless. They have these Supernova shadows, which are like liquid eyeshadows. Oh, that's upside down. What else is new? I don't know. And this one is in the color Walk of Fame. This is kind of a orangey looking color, but it's so pretty and it's so glittery. It's the color right there. It's supposed to be kind of like a cheaper dupe for the Stila glitter. What is it? Glitter and Glow. They have a Shimmering and Glow magnificent eyeshadows. Those are $24. This is like $6 or $7 or something like that. So yeah, and they're supposed to be really good. So I want to try it out and see what it looks like. I mean, that's shimmery, bruh.
Inside, smiling depression.
What do you guys think? It's very glittery, it's very shiny, which is what it's supposed to do. So I kind of like that. Let's see how it dries down. Because with my eyelids, color tends to transfer. Which is why I tend to kind of go up more into the crease. So that way, if the color transfer, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this up and I'll be right back. Okay, so look is done. I Finished up by putting on some mascara, and I put some nude eyeliner in my waterline. And I put a lip liner on my lips, which is Max Whirl. And that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed. As far as the products, I mean, so far I have liked every one of them. I mean, the foundation, the NARS foundation, I'm definitely going to keep using, and it's become my favorite. The concealer so far has worked great. I would have to wear it a little bit longer to see how it holds out now that I have like eyeshadow and sprays and all that good stuff on. But I mean, the application was very simple, and I liked how it worked with the sponge, so I'm sure that it'll work just as fine. The eyeshadow palette, again, Colourpop, you did that. No complaints there. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. And I will see you guys tomorrow with another video. Hopefully I don't sound, who am I kidding? I'm probably going to sound just as bad. Okay, bye.